B-83. One of the most powerful nuclear weapons ever created is the B-83 nuclear bomb, the heavyweight of the U.S. arsenal. It weighs around 2,400 pounds, or 1,100 kilograms, and measures 12 feet or 3.7 meters in length, about the size of a small car. But what truly matters is what's inside. Enough destructive power to wipe out an entire city. The B-83 is a gravity bomb, meaning it's dropped from an aircraft and simply falls to its target without any propulsion. But that simplicity is deceptive. Once released, it unleashes a blast equivalent to 1.2 megatons of TNT. That's 80 times stronger than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. To understand what that means in practical terms, imagine a single B-83 detonated as an airburst over Beijing. The fireball alone would consume more than 4 square kilometers, or 1.5 square miles, instantly vaporizing everything in its path. Buildings would collapse in a radius of over 7.5 kilometers, or 4.6 miles due to the shockwave. Windows would shatter up to 21 kilometers or 13 miles away, and anyone within 13 kilometers or 8 miles would suffer third-degree burns from the thermal radiation. We're talking about an estimated 1.5 million deaths and over 3 million people injured. The B-83 was originally carried by both the B-52 Stratofortress and the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. However, in 2010, the U.S. removed gravity bombs from the B-52's loadout due to modern air defense threats. Today, only the B-2 remains capable of carrying it up to 16 bombs at once. There are roughly 200 B-83 bombs still in active service, though plans are in place to retire them in favor of more modern, lower-yield weapons. Trident II. The Trident II is a submarine-launched ballistic missile and the backbone of the US and UK Second Strike nuclear capabilities. The missile weighs about 59,000 kilograms, or 130,000 pounds, stretches 13.5 meters or 44 feet long, and uses 3 solid fuel stages to fly over 12,000 kilometers or 7,500 miles. Launched from Ohio-class submarines, it can reach virtually any target on Earth without being detected. Each missile carries up to 8 W-88 warheads, each with a yield of 475 kilotons, more than 30 times the power of the Hiroshima bomb. Because these warheads are independently targetable, a single missile can strike 8 different targets in a single launch, or concentrate its force on a single location. To imagine the scale of this weapon, picture a single Trident II missile launched at Moscow, all warheads concentrated on one area. The fireball would incinerate over 10 square kilometers, or 4 square miles. Shockwaves would level structures within an 11-kilometer or 7-mile radius. Anyone within 22 kilometers or close to 14 miles would suffer third-degree burns, covering more than 1,500 square kilometers or 580 square miles of affected area. Casualties would be enormous, likely over 2.8 million killed immediately and more than 4.6 million injured. The U.S. Navy maintains 14 of these submarines, each carrying up to 20 Trident II missiles. That's 280 missiles ready for launch, and 2,240 nuclear warheads, each hundreds of times more powerful than Hiroshima. In total, this arsenal represents the equivalent of over 70,000 Hiroshima bombs, silently patrolling the oceans at all times. Dongfeng 5. First introduced in the 1980s, the DF-5 remains a critical part of China's strategic deterrent. It stands 106 feet tall, weighs roughly 183 tons, and can hit targets over 15,000 kilometers, or about 9,300 miles away, enough to strike anywhere on the globe from Chinese territory. The latest versions, like the DF-5B and DF-5C, carry MIRVs, multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. A single missile can deliver up to 12 nuclear warheads, each with a yield of 1 megaton. That's 66 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb per warhead. If all 12 warheads were aimed at the same city, the result would be catastrophic. Take Washington, D.C., for example. A combined blast of 12 megatons would create a fireball more than 3 kilometers or 2 miles wide, vaporizing everything in its core. Buildings would collapse within a 16-kilometer or close to 10-mile radius, and thermal radiation would cause third-degree burns up to 35 kilometers or 22 miles away. Fatalities could exceed 1 million, with over 1.8 million injured, all from just one missile. China is believed to have 20 to 30 of these missiles in its arsenal, but China hasn't stopped at the DF-5.